Hi, good morning. It's still Humphreys here from mindsettochange.com, and I'm down on my favourite coastline again today in Cardigan Bay, mid-west Wales. That way is Aberystwyth, as we are in kind of a little bowl here, and if you go to that way, the tip of the area of the bowl that way is a town called Humphreys, and we are right in the middle of the bowl, and we have the beautiful Cardigan Bay coast, but we also have the amazing Cambrian range of mountains, so we kind of have it good in all directions. Now, if life was like that, wouldn't it be amazing if life was always balanced? Sometimes it's ecstatic, sometimes it's frantic, chaos, difficult, hard. But on the contrast of that, because you know hard, you also know soft. Because you know struggle, you also know ease. Because you know pain, you also know pleasure. Law of cause and effect will give you the counterbalance to whatever is going on eventually. It just has to. It's an exact law. So you might want to be easier on yourself so that life doesn't seem so hard. You might want to push yourself a little bit harder because life seems so empty and perhaps you're not fulfilled. But just know that at any moment in time, these things can change. Just to give you a little bit of an update, in the last day or so, my life is completely different to when I stood here yesterday morning. I received a fantastic accolade last night, and I could feel it was heartfelt for me showing up, for me being an inspiration and motivation to others, for me being a light. And it suddenly dawned on me, oh my goodness me, but I'm just being me. But I'm making a difference. How many times do we walk around and think we can't make a difference? If you understand that you've got strengths and abilities inside that are hardwired about you, the uniqueness of you, the total one DNA of you, nowhere else in the world, of what you can bring to the table. When a person turns around and explains that to you, what may come up is disbelief, what may come up is doubt and negativity. Because after all, we don't get to where we are now without the programs, without being subdued, without losing imagination. We grew up with it. But where does it go? Where's that tipping point when it all disappears and we just stop doing that and responsibility kicks in? Why can't we have both? But that's just it. We can have both. It's choices that we actually make. I've been listening to an incredible tutorial today with Bob Proctor, and I'm going to put it underneath the video so you can listen to it as well if you just click on the link. I've been an avid follower of Bob because the paradigm shift I went through in the early days of disbelief, of negativity, of pain, he kind of drew the curtains in my darkness. He put the light on. He stopped the darkness. Took a while, but he stopped it. And even when it did show its face again, I kind of said, oh, hello. Haven't seen you in a while. Recognised it. Thanked it for reminding me how far I'd actually come. Whew. So, you know, the purpose and the passion and the vision that Bob Proctor talks about in the link that you will see is very significant to us all, because he's urging us not to stay in the status quo, if you've got dreams and ambitions, but you're not really sure how you can move ahead, and you're so in the zone of just surviving, and even though your bills are paid and you kind of have a life, you're driven by something else that's always pulling at you. Imagine being driven by something else that's all about you and your passion and your will to make changes and your need to reach out to others and help others. This world is getting more and more connective, obviously, with the advent of the media and everything that we've got now. Most of us have something in our hands at any point in time where we are Snapchatting, contacting, Facebooking, Instagramming. Whatever the platform is, we have connections. So this basically means that you've got a lot at your fingertips that you might not realise. And if you, like me, did not come into this world of digital until their early or mid-50s, yeah, it's kind of scary. Yes, can I do it? I just became a student because I knew I wanted to change some things, and this wasn't going to be a wall to me. This was going to be another learning process. And so I sat there, I became coachable, I became a student, I parked my history of non-belief, of self-doubt, and I just grew from that moment, because the acceptance of I know what I really want and I know what I'm passionate about, which is helping others, but I also know that the new vehicle to get that help out there is to be taught, is to become a student. So the technical side of things, I really had to become a student and integrate everything I was learning, and the faster I implemented it, the faster I understood it, the faster I was able to pass it on. And as they say, learn, do, teach is so true. But that's interesting for you too. You learn about you and you implement who you want to be, and you become who you want to be, and you're recognized for who you want to be, and then you teach others how to be who they want to be. Because everybody has a different story. Nobody tells the story like you do. It's personal to you, it's emotional to you. You will portray every sensory perception and instill in them these visuals and audio recordings of things that you have been through to get to where you are. And the other thing is that you never arrive, which is the most exciting for me. Every day is a new dawning, a new chapter, a new finding, a new way of being creative. Yes, we need to make sure that the financial side of things is taken care of for, and something that you need to sit down and do. It's just like Bob Proctor says, you sit down and talk about those things that are essential to you. They are the basic essentials. What aren't the essentials? Sacrifice. I love the terminology he uses when he talks about sacrifice, as if that is a huge cross to bear, something that is going to change your life dramatically. And yet, if you sacrifice that, you gain everything that you really want. Maybe it's to lose weight, so you stop eating the cream cheese and bagels in the morning. Maybe it's to have a better relationship, so you stop hanging around with people that aren't good for you. Maybe it's a better job, so you start looking and you become mindset expansive to create something new. Maybe you want to build another business, but you haven't got time. Maybe looking for some part-time work that still pays for all your bills at that time. This I didn't get at first, this concept of, well, yeah, but you don't understand, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. I had to get that out of the way, I had to get the understanding out of the way. That as long as everything, the basic things were paid for, and I could still survive, that I still had a chance of building another world for myself. And it was up to me how long I took because maybe I was fearful of being successful. But then suddenly, in the last few days, I've realised that everything I've possessed actually needs upgrading, even to my computer, my car. Those things no longer serve me. They weren't enough for me anymore. I had to change them. I had to sacrifice some things so some new things could come into my life. That's the law. Replenishment, upgrade. I'm going to say to you today, give yourself a mental upgrade today. You don't have to stay in the position that you're at, but you're going to have to consider the expansion. You're going to have to let other things in. Sit down and do some mind mapping. Draw a circle where you are now. All the things around you now. And from that circle, what do you want to change? What do you want to bring into your life? Be creative, be imaginative. You're not going to put a ceiling on your imagination today. You're going to take all the stops out. You're going to be expansive. You're going to go as wide as you possibly can. Feel the emotions coming up with that. Feel the excitement. Feel the fact that, hey, I might think I'm stuck. I'm the only one that's making me stuck. So I'm going to leave you with a little bit of a sight here, and we're going to carry on with our journey and carry on with our walk on this incredible morning. And even today, as I talk to you now, I've got a brand new focus. I can see an horizon over there, but it doesn't end there. I want to go beyond the horizons. That's where you should be focusing on. If you've ever stood by the sea and looked out, wondered, is there anybody on the other side of the world that's doing the same thing? What do they do? Who are they? What kind of lifestyle have they got? Maybe that other person's thinking that about you too. I'm going to wish you a really, really mind-mapping, fun day. You know, your life is ahead of you. It never has to stop. It never has to become the ordinary, the boring, or the mundane. We all have choices. We all have freedom to make those choices. It's how we progress and learn along the way, and how we evolve, and how we grow that really, really matters. The basic human needs: certainty, uncertainty, significance, recognition, love and connection. The two primary spiritual human needs are growth and contribution. Whatever stops growing perishes, and whatever doesn't contribute anymore is eliminated. That is evolution. But that's not you. You can become somebody who has the growth and contribution that perhaps you didn't have last year. Or perhaps you're on the way to it, or perhaps you're already actively doing it. I'm not sure. I don't know about you listening to this. But never stop. Never stop that growth. Never stop that extra step or stretch of the mindset. Because that's what makes changes. That's what moves mountains. That's what makes communities. And with that thought, I'd like to thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting and sharing. I really appreciate it. God bless. Heaps of gratitude. And thank you. Still signing out. Bye for now.